again soon.
Yes, all right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's one. I'm literally so shocked because I thought it was like way too late into the process to get offered an interview, but I was on the phone with somebody and then I just saw an email come through and I was like, oh my goodness. And I'm super excited to announce that I'll be attending It is 8:56 a.m. on decision day. It is December 15th, and I'm about to go get coffee. I'm just kind of trying to keep my mind off of it, but I have my ringer on for all the calls. I, at this point, have interviewed at 2 schools, and I interviewed at them in September and November, so I'm hoping I'll at least hear back from both of those, but yeah, I'm really excited. I just really hope I get a call today. Even if I don't, I know it's gonna be okay. But yeah, so I'll hopefully keep a little updates. I'll give y'all some updates throughout the day. So one thing I forgot to mention is that I actually did hear an update yesterday from Western University. They said that my application was still with the admissions committee and that they hadn't moved it forward yet. I've been getting that email for the last 2 months. I think I've gotten it 3 times. And so I'm not too worried about that, but I have heard that the other 6 schools all did look at my application. And then of course, I was rejected from UCSF in October, but the other schools are all still moving forward. So yeah, that's all the information I have so far. So right now it is 10:43. I still haven't heard anything from any of the schools. I did realize though that I had no cell phone service where I live because my current place of residence is kind of up in the mountains, so I don't really have any bars up there. But I ended up leaving and coming to sit in a parking lot of a place to just, you know, read my Bible, watch some shows while I'm just waiting. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'm getting very excited, but I know even if I had missed a call, they would have sent me an email, so I'm pretty sure nobody's sent anything yet. Hello?
Hello, is this Lucia?
Yes, this is Daisha.
Asia, perfect, I knew it. This is Jay from California North State University College of Dental Medicine. How's it going?
I'm doing good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm just making some phone calls today. Good news, you have been accepted for the class of 2028 for the College of Dental Medicine here at California North State University. Bad news is our enrollment agreement isn't quite ready yet, so that the official email will be sent out next week.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Yes, all right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's one. That's California North State University in Elk Grove. I was kind of expecting that I would be accepted at that one, so yay, that's exciting. Oh my gosh, okay. Wow. It is, what time is it? It's 11:58 a.m. So I was kind of worried they were gonna go on lunch break before I got anything. But yeah, whoa, that's crazy. Okay, yay.
It's literally in 64 range.
What? So, I had a very different plan for this video. I was hoping to put together more day-to-day clips in the process of waiting to hear back from the schools of whether I would be accepted or rejected, but I ended up getting really hurt just because I hadn't heard from the schools in a long time. So I'll explain. So on December 15th, I got called by Cal North State and I was accepted, as you saw in the video earlier, and that was really cool, but it ended up being pretty radio silent from the other schools for a really long time. January of 2024, I was actually near Elk Grove, so I decided to go tour the school. While it is a beautiful and up-and-coming facility, I just discerned that it was not the right school for me. I was stuck in the process of discerning between the fact that that was the only school I'd gotten into so far and hoping to go to a school that would be closer to me in Southern California. For those of you who don't know, Cal North State is in the Sacramento area in Northern California, so it's about 7 hours away from where I had lived a few months ago and was hoping to continue to live in. So I did end up placing a hold on a seat at Cal North State, but I was waiting to hear back from other schools. So fast forward a little bit, it was early February of 2024, and I still hadn't heard from any of the schools. I had at that point only interviewed at two. I had interviewed at Cal North State and at Loma Linda University. I hadn't heard anything from Loma Linda yet, but I had interviewed pretty late. I had interviewed in November of 2023, so I was still waiting to hear that decision. And I was driving home from work and I got an email. It didn't say congrats. And I realized, oh, I have either gotten waitlisted or I've gotten rejected. When I was finally able to click on it after I'd been driving for a little bit, it said that I had been waitlisted at Loma Linda for the class of 2028. And that was so crushing to me. I really liked Loma Linda. I think I'll talk about this in another video, but whenever I toured, I loved the campus. I loved the curriculum style. I really enjoyed the students that I interacted with. But I was waitlisted, and I knew while that wasn't necessarily a no, I was pretty bummed that I wasn't immediately accepted into the school. And I ended up talking about it with some friends, and they were so encouraging. My friends were so awesome. One of them said something along the lines to me that maybe that wasn't where I was supposed to go, and that maybe a delayed acceptance was an opportunity for another door to open. And that could not have been more true, because I was very shocked, but on the following Monday, 3 days after I'd gotten waitlisted, I actually got an offer to interview at another school, which I'll show you in the next video. Okay, today is February 5th, 2024. Today I just heard back from USC. I actually just got offered an interview. I'm literally so shocked because I thought it was like way too late into the process to get offered an interview, but I was on the phone with somebody and then I just saw an email come through and I was like, oh my goodness. And so I'm gonna go pick my interview, but I'm really stoked. It's in about 2 weeks, so yay. Praise God, I'm just so excited and I really hope it goes well. Basically what happened is I was at a cafe doing work with a friend, and I all of a sudden got an email from USC that they had invited me to interview. That was a huge shock, but I'll explain why. So the reason it shocked me was because I had actually participated in USC's pre-interview, so they had a separate process to the other schools. USC used the Cura system, which I believe a lot of medical schools use. The Cura system allows you to preview all of the applicants before they get to the interview stage, so a form of a pre-interview. It's a 2-minute recorded video that's live. You have one chance where they ask you a question that the school sends in, and you have 2 minutes to think about it and then 2 minutes to respond and to give your best shot. I won't release what the question was. I actually don't fully remember it, to be honest, but there were some like practice questions that you could do, and they were very personality based. So I had kind of assumed that the actual interview would be more just trying to get to know who the applicant was, maybe outside of the academic or dental process. It was totally blindsiding. Is that how you say that word? It totally blindsided me. I think it did a bunch of other people, because I noticed later on Student Doctor Network, a ton of pre-dental students were like, what was that question? So nothing bad. It was a good question. I think it was just unexpected maybe for what the practice questions that had been given. So I thought I had screwed up the interview and that I wasn't gonna get in. So that was rough. But whenever I got that email that I had gotten asked to interview, I was completely, utterly shocked. So I picked my interview date. I think I'll talk about that interview in another video, but for the meantime, I'll just continue on with the timeline. Admittedly, After I did the tour and the interview with USC, I really had to sit and discern if the problem-based learning system that USC uses was for me or not. And after going back and forth on it for a little while, I realized that the problem-based learning system would probably be the best way for me to learn and to become the best dentist that I could be, because I'm very used to lectures, and I think I treat, not that they don't do lectures at USC, but I think I treat a full lecture regimen as short-term learning, which I think is going to be to my disadvantage, of course, in wanting to become a dentist in the end. So I think that the problem-based learning system would help me in learning how to build long-term memory and in trying to learn how to be more fast on my feet and have better critical thinking when it comes to dealing with patients. After deciding that the problem-based learning system would be something I would be interested in dental school, I ended up sending a letter of intent to USC, and I also sent one to Loma Linda because I was still pretty sad that I hadn't gotten in, because I really did like the school. Then the next 3 months happened. We waited, and we waited, and we waited, and we waited. That was such a discouraging time, frankly. I was praying every day, I was talking with friends, I was trying to keep my mind off of dental applications, but at that point I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm exhausted. I don't really want to apply again. I knew I wasn't going to have to take the DAT again, just given my score, which was such a blessing, but I was getting really discouraged because I felt like I had applied too late into the process. Truth be told, I really did apply pretty late. I took my DAT 2 months into the application cycle, which meant my score didn't get in for another 3 weeks after that. So ultimately, my primary applications weren't even in until about 2.5, 3 months into the process. That was pretty difficult for me to think about, but I just hoped the whole time that I would have made an impression during the application process, that I would have made an impression during the interviews, and hopefully that one of the schools in Southern California would want to accept me. It ended up getting to the point where I realized that it was May of 2024, and the application was going to open up again on June 4th, 2024 for the next year's cycle. After discerning it with some friends, I realized that it was best to reapply and to start over that application cycle. I was admittedly pretty crushed because that was not what I had wanted to do. I was hoping it would just be one and done, so that was a pretty exhausting process, but I ended up deciding to reapply. Something that was really cool though was that the application portal actually copies over all of your information from the previous year if you allow it to do so, which was such a relief because I remember it took me about 3 weeks to fill out the first application while I was studying for my DAT. And while I wasn't studying this time, I was working a job and I had other responsibilities, so I knew that I was gonna probably take about the same amount of time. About 75% of the application was copied over. Obviously, I was going to write a new personal statement. I decided to make a pretty bold choice. I was actually only going to apply to one school this next time. I was only going to apply to USC. By that point, I had realized that USC was going to be the best school for me in terms of location and the program itself. So the morning I was going to write my personal statement, I filled out some of the additional questions that I needed to answer, and I went to lunch with a friend, and I hadn't seen that friend in a while, so I actually was explaining to her kind of what was going on, because she asked if I had gotten to dental school yet, and I told her how I had, but that I was still waiting to hear back from other ones. She was so sweet, so encouraging. We had a really wonderful talk. And as I was walking away, I all of a sudden got an email on my phone from USC, and it said, "Congratulations." That was truly one of the best moments of my life. I was so excited. I still am. It's been a month since that happened, from yesterday. I got in on May 16th, 2024. As you can see in this last video, it was just truly beyond my expectations. I was so excited. It is 2:01 p.m. on Thursday, May 16th, 2024, and I just got into USC Dental School.
I applied on June 21st, 2023. It has been almost a year, almost 11 months, and I am absolutely floored right now. I was in the middle of my undergraduate campus, Pepperdine, because I was at work, and I just had lunch with somebody, had my phone off during lunch so that I could pay attention, and I had just told them that I had recently visited USC, and I was praying around the school, and I was walking around the school and praying that that if the Lord wanted me to, that I would get in. And I just told my friend that as I was walking away, and after we parted, I opened my phone and I saw that I got in, and I ran back into my friend's arms and I screamed that I got into USC, and I just fell to the ground and started bawling for like 10 minutes. I'm still crying. It's been almost an hour and I'm crying still. God is so good. He's so faithful. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to be a dentist since I was a kid, and I just cannot believe that my dream's finally gonna be coming true. I'm gonna be a dentist in 2028. This is so exciting.
So I got into USC then, yay! Super excited. I started filling out all of the stuff I needed to, like getting my email set up, I paid the deposit, all that wonderful stuff. I was very shocked because I ended up getting into Loma Linda University a couple weeks later, which I'll show you on this screenshot. I was on the phone with a friend, so I was unable to answer the phone, but I saw the voicemail transcript and saw that I had gotten that, or they didn't say I had gotten in, but I assumed they had based on the phone call. That was one thing that was kind of odd about USC's application process, was they didn't call me, they just emailed me, but hey, I'll take it. From start to finish, I got into 3 schools. I got rejected from 3 schools, and I have still not heard from one of them. So I'm super excited to announce that I'll be attending USC this fall. I am so excited that I'm finally getting to begin my dental journey after wanting to be a dentist since I was 8 years old. Out of the 7 schools, I was very pleased with what ended up happening and me getting into USC, and I'm super excited to start there in the fall. Thank you for joining Day to Day Dental. I hope that this video has helped you. If you think this video may help another dental student, send it their way. If you want to like it, like and subscribe. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time.